राग गौड़ी पूर्वी महला चौथा। काम क्रोध नगर बहु पर्या। मिल साधु खंडल खंडा है। पूरब लिखत लिखे गुरु पाया। मन हर लिव मंडल मंडा है। The body and the mind is filled and overflowing with anger and wanton desires. On meeting with the society of holy saints, all of these vices were broken into bits and were removed. The fortunate ones who have acquired Guru's blessings by preordained destiny are finally immersed in the meditation of Vahiguru's name. कर साधु अंजलि पुन वड्डा है। कर दंडौत पुन वड्डा है। Rahau. Let us greet the saints with love and devotion, as this is a great act of good fortune, and further let us bow down before them. This is a virtuous action indeed. Pause. साकत हर रस साध न जानिया। तिन अंतर हो मैं कंडा है। ज्यों ज्यों चलै चुभै दुख पावहे। जम काल सहे सिर डंडा है। The self-willed persons who are engrossed in worldly pleasures, they have thorn of egotism embedded in them, and hence they are never able to taste the true love of Vaheguru and Vahiguru's presence. The more they walk on their path, the deeper the thorn of egoism pierces them and they suffer in pain. And finally, the messenger of death smashes his club on their heads. हर जन हर हर नाम समाणे। दुख जन्म मरण पव खंडा है। अविनाशी पुरख पाया परमेश्वर। पव शोभ खांड ब्रह्मंडा है। The lovers of the true Vaheguru are always absorbed in meditating on true name. The pain of birth and the fear of death is eradicated from them. They have realized and attained the imperishable Supreme Being, the transcendent Vaheguru, and they receive the great honor throughout all the worlds and hereafter. हम गरीब मस्कीन प्रभ तेरे। हर राख राख वड वड्डा है। जन नानक नाम धार टेक है। हर नामे ही सुख मंडा है। I am poor, humble and meek, O Vaheguru, but I do belong to you. Save me, O greatest of the great. O Nanak, let us take the sustenance and support of the true Naam. It is with true name that one can enjoy the eternal bliss with tranquility of mind. Raag Gauri पूर्वी महला पंजमा। करो बिनती सुन मेरे मीता। संत टहल की बेला यहाँ खाट चलो हर लाहा। आ गए बसन सुहेला। Listen, O my friends, I beg of you, this is the time to serve the true saints. In this world, earn the profit of Vahiguru's true name, and hereafter you will always dwell in peace. औध कटै दिन सिरैणा रे। मन गुर मिल काज सवारे। रहाओ. Our life is diminishing away day and night, every moment. So let us attain our ideal of life through Guru's guidance by directing our mind at Guru's word. एहो संसार विकार संशय महि। तरयो ब्रह्म ज्ञानी जिसे जगाए प्यावे एह रस अकथ कथा तिन जानी. This whole world is engrossed in the love of false worldly pursuits and dual-mindedness. Only the true saint could cross this ocean of life successfully. Only those who have attained the enlightenment through the grace of the Guru and have been awakened to this state, they understand the treasure of true name and know the secrets of Vaheguru. जाको आए सोई बिहाज हो हर गुर ते मने बसेरा निज कर महल पाओ सुख सहजे बहुर न होए गो फेरा. Let us do only that business for which we come to this world, that is, remembering and meditating on true name. We should do it with full faith in Guru's support and attain self-realization in the state of equipoise, so we don't come to the cycle of birth and rebirth again and again. अंतर जामी पुरख बिठाते सरधा मन की पूरे नानक दासी है सुख मांगे मुको कर संतन की दूरे. O knower of all hearts, O primal being, please fulfill the yearning of my mind. O Nanak, I only ask for one happiness, that I be the dust of the feet of the saints and be forever in bliss. Ik ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद राग श्री राग महला पहला कार पहला मोती ता मंदिर उस रहे रत्नी ता होई जड़ाओ कस्तूर कुंगु अगर चंदन लीप आवे चाओ मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ. If my house was built of precious stones, studded with gems and pearls, and fragrance of musk, saffron, sandalwood is enjoyed by me, by seeing all this, I might get enchanted and forget you and not remember your true name anymore. हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ मैं अपना गुर पूछ देखिया अवर नाही थाओ रहाओ. Without the true Vaheguru, my soul is burnt and destroyed. I consulted with my true Guru, and now I see that there is no other place of solace at all. Pause. तरती ताहीरे लाल जड़ती पलंग लाल जड़ाओ मोहनी मुखमणि सो है करे रंग पसाओ मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ. If the floor of my house was studded with diamonds and rupees, and my bed was encased with blood-red stones, if heavenly beauties, their faces adorned with emeralds, try to entice me, beware, by seeing all these, I might get enchanted and forget you and don't remember your name at all. सिद्ध हुआ सिद्ध लाई रिद्ध आखा आओ गुपत परगट होए बैसा लोक राखे पाओ मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ. If I become Siddha with occult powers of acquiring wealth and being seen or unseen at will, thus being adorned by everyone and fellow beings in all, beware, else I might get enchanted and forget you and not remember your name at all. Shri Rag Mahalla Pehla कोट कोटि मेरी आरजा पवन पियण प्याओ चंद सूरज दोए गुफै ना देखा सुपने सोण ना थाओ भी तेरी कीमत ना पवै हूँ केवड़ आखा नाओ. Even if I could live for millions and millions of years and sustain myself on air alone, and if I were to stay in a secluded cave where I cannot see sun or moon, even in dream I had no place to sleep or nothing else which can distract me except you, O Vaheguru. In spite of doing all this concentration, I would not be able to gauge your greatness or describe how great your name is. साचा निरंकार निज थाई सुन सुन आखण आखणा जे पावै करे तमाय रहाओ. The true Vaheguru is established in his exalted position by himself. Many people have tried to describe his greatness by hearing from others, but even this effort itself is made only by those unto whom the Vaheguru bestows his grace. Pause. कुसा कटिया वार वार पीसण पीसा पाए अग्गी सेती जालिया पसम सेती रल जाओ भी तेरी कीमत ना पवै हूँ केवड़ आखा नाओ. Even if I were to perform austerities like slicing my body into pieces, grinding it through the mill, burning it alive in fire, and finally mixing it completely with ashes, in spite of all these austerities, O Vaheguru, it will not be within my power to know your greatness and describe your true name. पंखी होए कै जे पवां सै असमानी जाओ नदरी किसे नावो ना किच पिया ना खाओ भी तेरी कीमत ना पवै हूँ केवड़ आखा नाओ. If I were a bird who could flutter around and fly high up in the skies where nobody could see me and I could sustain myself without eating or drinking anything, O Vaheguru, in spite of all this, I would not know your greatness and tell your great true name. नानक कागद लख मणा पढ़ पढ़ की चय पाओ मस्सु तोट ना वही लेखन पौन चलाओ भी तेरी कीमत ना पवै हूँ केवड़ आखा नाओ. O Nanak, even if I have tons of stacks of paper and if I were to read and recite and embrace love for Vaheguru and if ink were never to finish and my pen were to move like the wind, even with all this effort, it would be beyond me to gauge the depth of the unfathomable Vaheguru and describe his great true name. श्री राग महला पहला लेखे बोलण बोलना लेखे खाना खाओ लेखे वाट चलाइया लेखे सुनवे खाओ लेखे स्याह लवाइया है पढ़े के पुछण जाओ. It is in accordance with the will of Vaheguru that we speak anything or we enjoy having food. It is with the will of Vaheguru that we move around, we hear anything and we see the beauty around us. It is in accordance with the will of Vaheguru that we breathe, we wake up and go to sleep. This fact is all clear that everything is controlled by His will. We don't need to consult the scholars or learn people about it. बाबा माया रचना तोह ਅੰਧੇ ਨਾਮ ਵਿਸਾਰਿਆ ਨਾ ਤਿਸ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਰਹਾਉ. O Papa, the worldly veil of falsehood, Maya, is very deceptive. It's like a mirage to distract us from our path. So we be careful. The person who forgets to meditate on true name is like a blind man who in ignorance wastes his life in this world and spoils his chances hereafter as well. Pause. जीवन मरना जाए कै इत्थे खाजे काल जिथे भे समझाइए तिथे कोई न चलियो नाल रोवण वाले जेतड़े सब बन्ने पांड पराल. Life and death come to all who are born. Everything here gets devoured by death. We have to account for our actions in this life before Vaheguru. None else will be there to support our case except the true name which we might have acquired. All those persons wailing and crying after our death will be left behind and will be of no avail to us. सबको आखे बहुत बहुत घट ना आखे कोई कीमत किने न पाया कहड़ न वड्डा होए साचा साहिब एक तू होर जिया केते लो. Everyone says that Vaheguru is greatest of the great. No one calls him any less. No one has gauged his worth by speaking of him. His greatness is not increased. The true Vaheguru, our benefactor, is the only one who has complete knowledge of everything. He is the master of all the beings of so many worlds and realms. नीचा अंदर नीच जात नीची हूँ अत नीच नानक तिन कै संग साथ वड्डिया स्यों क्या रीस जिथे नीच संभालियन तिथे नदर तेरी बख्शीश. O Nanak, I crave for the company of the most humble, the lowest status in society, the true saints who consider themselves to be the lowest of all. I cannot think of associating myself with those who call them great and are full of ego. Vaheguru also bestows his blessings and grace on those humble people alone, and Vaheguru's benevolence is showered on such holy congregations of the humble.